Story number 1. My fiance, 30 male, is convinced my family thinks he's dumb. I'm losing patience. Alex and I have been together for a little over 2 years, engaged for 3-ish months. Our families are pretty different. His whole family lives in the Midwest and mostly work blue-collar jobs, whereas I come from an East Coast family of, well, nerds. Nice nerds, but nerds nonetheless. My parents were both college professors, and my sister is a chemist. You get the idea. I've never viewed one kind of job lifestyle as better or smarter than another. Heck, growing up around a bunch of college professors, I wouldn't trust most PhDs to park my car without supervision. However, I know that society has certain stereotypes that are hard to shake. So, I was initially understanding when Alex was nervous about meeting my family. We live on the West Coast, so we see his family a lot more often than we see mine. He didn't meet my parents until we'd been together almost a year, and we've only done maybe 4 visits with them total. I'd hoped that first visit would put some of Alex's fears to rest, but if anything, the problem keeps getting worse. And that problem is, Alex gets in his head about feeling less intelligent than my family, which leads him to be uncharacteristically quiet and withdrawn around them, which ironically does make him come off as not so bright, or at least uninteresting, unfriendly, because he just sits there like a bump on a log instead of engaging with anybody. Even when I try to draw him into the conversation by turning the topic to something he's interested in and asking him a question about it, he'll maybe say a sentence or two and clam up again. And it's not like my family sits around discussing deep philosophy and quantum physics all the time or whatever either. The majority of the time we talk about pretty average, normal topics. Current events, what's on TV, family gossip, whatever. And it's not like there's any lack of other things to talk about. Alex has a side business as a photographer, and my mom loves photography, but he won't even talk to her about it because my photos are probably way too amateurish for her. She tried to bring it up to him once, and he just made a nervous quip and then kinda left the conversation. And she never broached the topic again because, well, she's an awkward nerd and had no idea how to handle that reaction, understandably. It's extra frustrating because, as I've told him 1,000 times, his intelligence is one of the things I noticed first about him. He's absolutely not dumb in the slightest, and I hate to hear him say that about himself. We met in a book club, and I was blown away by his insights on what we were reading, and it's one of the first things we bonded over. I'm tired of making excuses for Alex when my family pulls me aside to concernedly ask if he's uncomfortable or dislikes them. There's only so many times I can say, "Oh no, we're just exhausted from the flight," or "It just takes him a little while to feel comfortable around new people when he's met them this many times." I want to be on his side and defend him, but at a certain point it's honestly embarrassing. But I don't know how to tell him that without causing him to get even more nervous and tied in knots than he apparently already is. How can I resolve this without making him feel even worse about the whole thing? Story number 2. Am I the asshole for calling out my husband for not being a good Christian? I, 27 female, have been married to my husband, 34 male, for 5 years. My husband is a devout follower of his religion, and has been since he was raised in it. I respect his beliefs, even though I don't share them, and have no intention of converting. I was raised in the Christian faith. However, I left when I was an adult due to sexual abuse in my church, which nobody believed occurred because the one who did it was the pastor. Recently, my husband has been pressuring me to convert to his religion. He says that it would bring us closer together and create a more harmonious household. I understand where he's coming from, but I firmly believe that faith is a personal journey, and I shouldn't be forced into something I don't believe in. To add to the issue, my husband, despite his religious teachings, doesn't always practice what he preaches. He expects me to adhere to traditional gender roles, yet he often neglects his own responsibilities at home. He's quick to judge others for their actions, even though his faith teaches non-judgment and kindness. He makes comments about gay people that I have discussed with him as a major issue. This hypocrisy has been bothering me for a while. Last night, during another discussion about my potential conversion, I finally snapped. I told him that if he wants me to consider converting, he needs to set a better example by actually living according to his religion's values. I pointed out that he should start by fulfilling his own responsibilities, that he should make more money than me, and actually lead in the decision making. I'm a nurse, and he's currently unemployed after he was let go from his job in an office. That he should be less judgmental of others, because according to his faith, only God can judge them. I also said he should show more of the virtues Jesus asked of Christians, that he should clothe the naked, feed the hungry, visit the prisoner, aid the orphan and the widow, etc. I also made it clear that while I respect his beliefs, I have no intention of converting unless I genuinely believe in it, which I currently don't because of the hypocritical behavior of his faith. My husband was furious. He accused me of being disrespectful and undermining his faith. He said that I was attacking him personally and that I don't understand the pressure he's under to have a unified religious household. He left for church this morning at 7 for Bible study, and I have already gotten a phone call from the pastor saying I'm an ungodly woman who tricked a good man into marrying him, and I should repent. I have also gotten a tirade of texts and emails from members of his church saying I was disrespectful and being a bad wife, and I'm starting to wonder if I was too harsh, that maybe I shouldn't have said anything at all. Am I the asshole? Subscribe and like for more videos like this.